Welcome to the BJCP training program from the Bros Anonymous Homebrew Club. In this video, we are going to take another look at off flavors, but this time from the judging exam perspective. We've talked about off flavors and it had its whole lesson actually in the entrance exam preparation course. And if you haven't already seen that and you haven't passed the preparation course, well, you'll need to pass that before you can take the exam that we're talking about in this video. So check that out at learn.brosanonymous.org. But the information we went through there is for a very small set of questions. I think it's like 3 at most that might appear on the exam. That number could be wrong, but it's very low. And it is asked during an open book examination. So you'll have the answer in front of you in a form of a one-sheet printout that is provided in the course. So you didn't really need to learn these off flavors like the back of your hand, like you're going to have to for the judging exam. And to do that, there's a couple tools. So let's jump out of this presentation and I'll show you what I'm talking about. The bare minimum you're going to need to know is this list of beer faults from the BJCP. Not only do they define them and then give you solutions to fix the problem, either in the already fermented beer or in a future brewing of that beer, but this is also the list that is on the score sheet. So if you're going to mark something off on the score sheet, it's going to be on here. So you want to make sure that you're right. In fact, there's even a PDF printout, which again was provided in the entrance exam preparation material. And I'll also include this with this lesson as well. So you can kind of print it out, test yourself, do whatever you want with it. So you're going to need to know what the characteristic is that you're sensing, what the name of it is. In this case, if you're getting like a green apple, you know that's acetaldehyde, and then how you could fix this problem in a future beer. Those are the things that you need to know for your judging exam or tasting exam, depending on how it's defined by the administrator that's holding it. It goes by both names very often. They're interchangeable. If you want to get a little more in-depth into these, there's a set of flashcards here. In fact, I was looking through those earlier. As you can tell, a set of flashcards from the BJCP as well. I'll also attach these to this lesson. And these kind of categorize each thing that you need to know about each off flavor, how they're described, if they're appropriate, if they are appropriate, what styles, what causes it, and how it can be avoided. And this I would say is the thing I would suggest most. I wouldn't even just venture that guess. I'm actually saying this is the thing I suggest most you getting to learn. This, I think, is a good compromise between that one-page sheet we just looked at and what we're about to look at here moving forward. This is my suggested study aid for learning your off flavors, preparing yourself for the judging exam. Now, if you want to get a little more, in a sense, first-hand experience, I guess first palate or first sensory experience, there are some options to actually learn how your palate and how you sense aromas of off flavors and off aromas. There is some options to physically train for that, and that's what we're looking at next. There are off flavors made by the Siebel Beer Institute, and you can order them directly from them, but you can also order them from morebeer.com. That's why I have this page up now. Morebeer.com, that's the website. I have absolutely no affiliation with them whatsoever. It's just a source of where you can get these from. And they're a little cheaper, honestly, than getting them direct from the source. And since they're over $59, they're shipped free. So that's an extra savings in getting them directly from the source. So here's the front page of More Beer. You'll get something different. This changes every few days. But what you want to do in search is type in off flavors. And here I did that. Here's the results you're going to get. And these are the Siebel training kits. Now, there's 8 listed. Really, honestly, maybe one. You would only buy one, and one that you would really need if you want to get a thorough, again, for lack of a better term, hands-on experience with these off flavors. And we'll look at the options one by one. We have the Essentials kit. There's a regular kit, the Comprehensive kit, the Immediate off flavor kit, Barrel Aged. We're not even going to look at that because this is going to do you no good. This is actually for characteristics in a barrel-aged beer, and you will not have a wood beer, which is a barrel-aged beer, on your exam. That is category 30-something. I want to say 34. That might be wrong. The cutoff is 26. No beers past category 26 are to be included in the exam. So this kit right here will do you, this barrel-aged kit will do you no good. So unless you really want to learn that on your own, there's no sense in looking at that for the exam. There's the Advanced Off Flavor Kit, the Craft flavor kit. And then this says basic kit, but it's really just a quantity of 4 of the essential in one pack. That's why it's so expensive. So this is just 4 of these in one package. So we won't bother looking at that. We will start with the essentials kit, however. And the essentials kit is just that. It is the most common off flavors and aromas you'll get in a beer. And that is contamination, DMS, diacetyl, isofluric acid, the papery, oxidized, kind of wet cardboard flavor, and the H2S, the rotten egg sulfur character. So your basic flavor, your most common flavors, I should say. Now, in the regular kit, you get a few more. You get all those. You also get acetaldehyde. You get the bitter component. You also get, let's see, the ethyl hexanate, isoamyl acetate, the light struck, the skunky aroma of beer, or, well, I guess some flavor, but definitely aroma more than flavor. Metallic and spicy in addition to that as well. And then on to the comprehensive kit. That is literally everything. That is more than what is actually, that's everything that they make for the off flavor kits, I should say. This is even a larger selection than is actually on the exam. It's comprehensive. That's the term for it. I think there's a little overkill if you're going to go this direction, but it is available. And along with that is also, it's about the same amount as the essentials kit, but a couple differences. Like right off the bat, I can see that grainy is in here. It wasn't in the other. That this farm barnyard, that kind of funk that wild yeast brings is in this. And I guess that's really about it from the looks of it. And then over to the advanced kit, again, a lot of the same things you've seen before and some new things we haven't seen at all. Earthy is now on here. We also have the, what is that? Caprylic acid. Oh, butyric acid. Oh, butyric acid. That is I'll tell you right now, if you ever get a beer with butyric acid, that is an aroma you will never forget. You only need to experience once and you'll never forget it again. A lot of these are not on the score sheet. So even though this has got about the same number that are on the score sheet, most of these are not actually on there. So I'd kind of skip over this one if you're going to do it. If you're going to do this, I would say probably your best bet is going to be the base or the essentials, I guess. What I think I confused that earlier. What was the other one? The regular. Okay, I was comparing, I think, the advanced with the regular and calling it the essentials. But I would say the essentials because in all likelihood, these are the flavors and aromas that are going to show up in beers in your exam. Now, if you want to be completely sure, or as sure as you can be, my next suggestion would be the regular kit. But here's the thing about these. So you're aware, these are 1 liter kits, meaning they contaminate 1 liter of beer. And once you open them, you have to use them. It's not like you can open them and save a little bit for later. You have to use it all at once. 1 liter of beer is 33 point something ounces of beer, which is almost 3 12-ounce cans or 12-ounce bottles of beer. That's a lot of beer to contaminate and a lot to drink that you're not going to want to drink because they're now contaminated. So if you're the only one doing this, there's a lot of waste involved in this. And these are expensive. As you see, they start at what, $99? Yeah, $100. They start at $100 and only go up from there. So if you really want to do this, I would encourage you to try to get a small group together to do this. 1, to offset the costs, which is good for everybody. And 2, to minimize waste. Because if you even just do the essentials, that's what, 6 times 3, that's 18. That's almost 2. No, it's more than 2 6-packs. That's 3 6-packs, isn't it? Yeah. 3 6-packs you're going to go through of 12-ounce cans of beer or bottles of beer. That's a lot of waste for getting what is ultimately going to probably be maybe 4 ounces that you drink, because that's about all you'll want to drink, because you'll have gotten your answer on how your palate interprets these flavors. But again, this is an option. It's out there. If you want to be incredibly thorough on how your entire experience will be judging and how your palate picks up not only the good, but the bad of beers, this option exists. It's here. There's another option. It's a little less fancy, but it has worked, and I've done this. There's a DIY beer off flavor kit. It's not as extensive as the offerings from the Seibel kits, but there is a couple of options here, like diacetyl and DMS and acetaldehyde, light struck. The oxidized flavor, infection, these are the kind of almost matching the essentials with, I think, maybe 1 missing. I didn't quite count those. the more common off flavors you're going to get in beer can be done on a DIY level. I've done this, and I can tell you it didn't hurt me. It didn't lead me down the wrong direction. I don't know that it helped me, though, any more than this. I go back to these flashcards. I want to say this is probably your best bet, and obviously most economical, because you can download it right now when this video is done. But if you want to get some taste experience, you can start off with this. I don't know, it was like probably $20 worth of stuff. This was probably the most expensive. This says this article, I don't know how old it is. It's quite a few years old. It still applies. This was probably the most expensive thing. And well, I take that back. The most expensive thing was the beer that I spiked everything with. So maybe this butter extract. Some of these, I believe the butter extract and the apple flavoring were difficult to find, so I had to get them online, and that might have inflated the cost for me. Your luck might be better finding these. Remember, if I haven't told this story 100 times already in this training, I did this during the pandemic where things weren't always easy to find. So I will put the link in the description below here, and I will put these files, this first file and my most recommended file, in the lesson plans below. And you can decide for yourself what to do. But you're going to need to know these more than you need to know them for the entrance exam is the point of this video. And here's some tools on how to do that. Take this information and do with it what you will, but you're going to need to study a little bit more on off flavors than what you already have when you're getting ready for your exam. And on that note, that does it for this video. Thank you for watching, and let's move on to the next.